This 1 Degree Outside video is sponsored by Fiesta Shows. Fiesta Shows is lighting up New England with classic carnival fun all summer long, and we don't want you to miss it. Sign up for their town-specific newsletter and grab your exclusive 1 Degree Outside ticket and ride discount at fiesta.1degreeoutside.com. Find out when the fun will be rolling into your neighborhood and save, all for being a part of the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. It's Pattern Predictions recorded Monday, June 16th. We're looking out to the next 2 weeks. That's the second half of June, where we told you in previous Pattern Predictions in the monthly forecast for June, this should be where summer comes on strong. Let's see if that's happening. A reminder, this is all meant to supplement the 14-day forecast you can get totally free on our app. It works not just in New England, where we focus a lot of our videos, but nationwide. We know many of you tune in, and it even works internationally. So just search 1 Degree Outside Weather on the App Store and Google Play. Big tip of the cap to Fiesta Shows, who's been a big sponsor of ours over the last couple of weeks. Check them out if you haven't yet. Promo code, all that stuff that you can use to get a discount to go to the carnival, fiesta.1degreeoutside.com. All right, here is the pattern at 500 millibars. What does that mean? I talk about this a lot. Generally, when you look at this, it's an average temperature through a deep column of the atmosphere. The warmer colors indicating warmer average temperature. The cooler colors indicating colder average temperature. Big dome of cold air northeast of Hudson Bay setting up through this week. We get a surge of warmth and heat that comes in briefly at midweek. But really, we don't start to see the prolonged hot pattern setting up until we get into the upcoming weekend. And here it is. This is what we call a big ridge, a big dome of deep hot air through the atmosphere. And once that starts to set up, watch what happens. You've got colder air kind of digging in the Pacific Northwest. You are still kind of on the battle zone here for a little bit, but wow, does that big ridge, that big dome take off as we head to next week. This is interesting because not only is it going to mean a lot of heat at the surface, but remember what I told you. This is heat deep through the atmosphere. It's possible that we will challenge or maybe even set record observed high temperatures when you get thousands of feet up into the sky. Those records don't go as far back, but still it's fascinating to do it because it shows you've built a real dome of heat. And that's what we're doing over the eastern United States getting into next week. What's interesting, too, though, is if you look, we still have kind of a northwest flow of wind coming into New England. What's happening is you've got these little rounds of energy and cool air breaking off from that trough or dipping the jet stream out in the Rockies, coming over the Great Lakes and riding into New England. What that should tell us is, even as the heat builds, you'll have an increased propensity for thunderstorms because of disturbances that will be coming overhead. And in this type of a pattern, they can often be strong or severe because you've got so much energy to work with the heat, and then you're bringing disturbances through. By the end of the month, this is kind of fascinating. You start to see the ridge bridging out across the Atlantic Ocean, including the central Atlantic. This is a summertime setup, but it's happening pretty fast for us here at the second half of the month. It does allow the easterlies to start to set up when you get across the tropical Atlantic. This means that we are going to open the tropical season to starting to watch even the Cape Verde waves that come off of Africa, but especially in a development zone around the Bahamas, the Caribbean. As we start to get to the end of this month, we start to open that window, and that's going to mean that the eastern seaboard and the Gulf will start to watch all of this as well. In terms of surface temperatures, you can see for yourself as we head out. I mentioned through this week, we get one surge, but it's next week when you've got this big dome of heat building. Folks, we may ride over 95 degrees as a New England average next week. I'll show you that in a moment. And notice as we get out to the end of the month in July 1st, just about all of the country into central Canada is blanketed in heat. So this is that pattern flip that we told you at 1 Degree Outside was coming. It is about to unfold. And take a look at what it looks like in the 14 days, a New England average high. Yeah, that's right. We may go all the way to 95 to 100 by the time we get to Tuesday of next week. That would be amazing stuff. Now, notice even when it comes back down, you're still talking about what's going to be warmer or hotter than normal conditions for the end of the month. Dew point, it's time to bring that back. The 14-day dew point forecast, notice it climbs here. That one pulse of heat that we get around midweek this week to end of the week, that brings some humidity. It comes down. Much more comfortable air Friday into Saturday, builds again after that, and then even after it drops down after the heat around Tuesday of next week, you're still talking about dew points in the 60s. This is going to mean warm overnight low temperatures. What should stand out to us here is that next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, if those overnight lows are right in the mid-70s around New England as an average, the urban centers, particularly of southern New England, will have some problems. Heat warnings will have to be issued, et cetera, because the body won't be able to recover because it really doesn't cool off that much during the overnight. Again, that's Tuesday and Wednesday of next week for those of you that are into emergency management and planning and things of that nature. You know, one of the things that's been fascinating is when you get into the warmth, It doesn't mean you're out of the thunderstorms. And if you look at the 10-day precipitation forecast, yes, some of this comes this week in showers as we make the transition. We talk about that in our insights videos. But some of this is just because of the fact that there is so much humidity and there will be disturbances coming through. And that does drive up the chance for scattered strong thunderstorms along the way. So you see the dip when the more comfortable air comes in at times. But generally, when you're into the humidity, you're into the elevated chance of showers and thunder. All right, if you like this stuff, you probably just love meteorology. And if you love meteorology, you should probably be a member. Membership.onedegreeoutside.com. You can pick a tier that's just right for you. And we appreciate all of you who already have. That's how it looks for now, but we'll see you with updates all through the course of the week. All of our videos at onedegreeoutside.com and atop the home screen of our 1 Degree Outside weather app.